Welcome back to my channel, Rare Coins Shop. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're diving into the incredible world of the 1944 wheat penny, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection or hidden away in an old coin jar. And let me tell you, this coin has the potential to change your life. The 1944 wheat penny is one of those classic coins that seems to be everywhere. After all, the United States Mint produced a huge number of these pennies, over 430 million of them to be exact. So, what makes this coin stand out from the rest? Why are collectors and investors willing to pay thousands of dollars for a single penny that was once so commonly circulated? Let's take a quick trip back in time to 1944. The world was in the midst of World War II, and the United States was fully engaged in the fight. While American soldiers were overseas, back home the economy was working overtime to support the war effort. This included producing an immense number of coins, including the iconic Lincoln wheat penny. The wheat penny, introduced in 1909, was one of the longest-running coins in American history. The obverse features the image of President Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of the nation's enduring values. On the reverse, you see the 2 ears of wheat, an emblem of America's agricultural roots, framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. These coins were meant to be a representation of the American spirit, strong, enduring, and steadfast. Now, in 1944, something interesting happened. You see, during the war, there was a shortage of copper, so the U.S. Mint began using steel and zinc-coated steel to make pennies. However, in 1944, they returned to using copper, which meant the 1944 wheat penny was struck from a more familiar metal. But here's the catch: while most of the 1944 pennies were struck in the traditional copper alloy, some of them were made with slight errors during the minting process, making them rare and highly valuable. This brings us to the 1944 wheat penny. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and although millions were produced, finding one in excellent condition today is a rare treasure. But what makes this coin so special? Why are collectors paying top dollar for it? As with any coin, the key to value lies in its condition. Most of the 1944 wheat pennies were used extensively during the 1940s and 1950s, passing through countless hands. Over time, these coins got worn down, losing much of their detail. However, a small percentage of these pennies managed to survive in exceptional condition, their original details sharp and untouched by heavy circulation. These well-preserved specimens are what collectors covet the most. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this coin stand out even more? The answer lies in rarity and error coins. You see, some 1944 pennies were struck with minting mistakes, things like double dies, where parts of the design appear twice, or coins that were struck off-center. These mistakes make the coin even more valuable because they are unique. A coin with such an error is not just a piece of currency, it's a one-of-a-kind artifact. And these rare variations can skyrocket in value, especially when paired with excellent condition. Collectors also look for coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. These companies evaluate coins based on their condition and assign a grade. A higher grade, such as MS 65 or higher, can make a huge difference in a coin's value. And while the 1944 wheat penny is a common coin in terms of its production numbers, those that are well preserved and carry rare mint errors can command a premium price. So, how much could your 1944 wheat penny be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to have one that's in near perfect condition, or better yet, a coin with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, one such 1944 wheat penny was recently sold for an astonishing $280,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $280,000. For a single penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, could it really be that much? Well, yes, if you've got one of these rare coins in excellent condition or with a mint error, it's entirely possible. It just goes to show that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the most value. So, What should you do if you think you might have a 1944 D wheat penny worth a lot more than 1 cent? First, check the condition. Does it have a strong strike with sharp details? Is it free from corrosion or heavy scratches? Look for any signs of mint errors, like a double die or misalignment. If you find anything unusual, don't hesitate to have the coin professionally graded. You could be holding a rare treasure without even knowing it. Second rare coin, we're diving into the story of one of America's most iconic and beloved coins, the 1950 wheat penny. This small, humble cent might just be holding a big secret, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes it so valuable, how to spot a rare one, and just how much it could be worth today. Let's take a moment to appreciate what the wheat penny really represents. First minted in 1909, the Lincoln Wheat Cent was designed by Victor D. Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin features the bold, familiar profile of Lincoln on the front, and 2 simple wheat stalks on the back, a tribute to American agriculture and hard work. It was a design that captured the spirit of a growing nation, and it remained in circulation until 1958. Among these coins, some years stand out more than others, and 1950 is one of them. Now, the year 1950 was a transitional time in American history. World War II had ended just 5 years prior, and the United States was beginning to settle into a new era of post-war prosperity. Industry was booming, families were growing, and people were looking forward to a brighter future. In that same year, the Philadelphia and Denver mints were busy producing millions of Lincoln wheat pennies for everyday use. But here's where things get interesting: not all of those pennies were created equal. At first glance, a 1950 wheat penny might look like just another old coin. It's made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, and it weighs just over 3 grams. But for collectors, the true magic lies in the details. The condition of the coin, the mint mark, and even subtle errors during production can mean the difference between a common penny and a collector's dream. Let's talk about mint marks. The 1950 wheat penny was struck at 2 main locations: the Philadelphia Mint, which did not include a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which used a small D mark just below the date. While both versions are collectible, certain error coins and uncirculated examples from either mint can be worth much more than expected. Some of the rarest 1950 wheat pennies are those that have been preserved in pristine condition, coins that somehow escaped circulation and remained untouched for decades. These are what collectors refer to as mint state coins. They have sharp details, full original luster, and no signs of wear or damage. Coins in this condition are often graded by professional services, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. But there's another layer to this story: errors. Minting errors can occur when the dies used to stamp the coin are misaligned, doubled, or damaged. These mistakes are rare, but when they happen, they create one-of-a-kind coins that collectors will pay a premium for. A 1950 wheat penny with a clear double die on the date or lettering, or one with an off-center strike, could be worth a small fortune. These are the kinds of coins that turn pocket change into payday. So how do you know if your 1950 wheat penny is worth more than 1 cent? Start by checking its condition. Look closely at the surfaces. Do they still shine with original mint luster? Are the details on Lincoln's hair, coat, and face still sharp? Is the wheat on the reverse fully detailed? If so, your coin might already be in a higher grade category. Next, look for any unusual features, doubling, odd spacing, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. And finally, consider having your coin professionally graded and appraised. There are trusted services that can authenticate your coin and assign it a value based on its rarity and condition. Now comes the most exciting part of all. You might be wondering, just how valuable can a 1950 wheat penny get? While most circulated examples are worth a modest amount, there are rare versions of this coin, in near-perfect condition and with desirable features, that have fetched serious money at auction. And believe it or not, one such example of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny has been valued at an incredible $245,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, minted in 1950, could be worth $245,000 today. That's the kind of life-changing discovery that every coin hunter dreams about. So the next time you come across an old penny, don't toss it aside. Take a closer look. Because with a little luck and a sharp eye, you might just find a treasure hidden in plain sight. And who knows? That small copper coin in your collection could one day be worth a fortune. Third expensive coin, we're diving deep into the world of one of America's most cherished coins, the wheat penny. And not just any wheat penny, but the 1953 wheat penny. This small coin, with its rich history and iconic design, may just be hiding in your collection or even buried in your pocket change, and it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this little penny could be worth. The story of the 1953 wheat penny begins back in the early 1950s. After World War II, the United States saw significant economic growth, and the mint was cranking out coins at a rapid pace to meet the demands of the expanding economy. The 1953 wheat penny was no different. Over 330 million of them were produced at the Denver Mint. These pennies were used in everyday transactions, circulating through the hands of millions of Americans as they bought groceries, paid for services, and contributed to the growing economy. However, it's not the vast number of these coins that makes the 1953 wheat penny so special. It's the rarity of high-quality, well-preserved examples and the potential for mint errors that elevate this coin to a whole new level in the world of numismatics. While most of the 1953 wheat pennies are in average condition, finding one in excellent, uncirculated condition can be a true treasure. The condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value, and when it comes to coins like the 1953 wheat penny, even a small difference in quality can make a world of difference in price. The 1953 wheat penny, like all wheat pennies, features the famous image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Lincoln's likeness has graced the coin since 1909, and it remains one of the most iconic designs in American coinage. On the reverse side, you'll find two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing the agricultural heritage of the country. The design itself is simple, yet timeless, representing both the strength and the humble roots of the United States. Now, while the 1953 wheat penny may seem like just another routine issue at first glance, there's something about this particular year and mint mark that draws collectors in. You see, while the 1953 was produced in large quantities, only a small fraction of those coins have managed to survive in excellent condition. Most of these pennies were heavily circulated, suffering from wear, scratches, and tarnishing as they passed through the hands of countless people. But among the millions that saw heavy use, a select few remained untouched, their details sharp and their surfaces pristine. Finding a 1953 wheat penny in such excellent condition is no easy feat, but that's exactly what coin collectors dream of. If you happen to own one of these uncirculated examples, you could be sitting on a hidden gem that's worth much more than its face value. The condition of a coin directly impacts its market value, and coins that have been well preserved are in high demand among collectors. Coins that fall into the category of uncirculated or mint state can command incredible prices, especially when they are rare. But what about the 1953 wheat penny with a mint error? As we all know, mistakes can happen during the minting process, and some of the most valuable coins are those with errors. Whether it's a double die, a mistruck coin, or an off-center strike, errors can add a significant premium to a coin's value. For example, if you find a 1953 wheat penny with a noticeable minting error, such as a double date or lettering, you could be holding a coin that's worth far more than the standard issue. One of the most exciting things about the 1953 wheat penny is that it's not just about finding a pristine coin or a mint error. Some of these pennies are especially valuable because of their historical significance. The 1950s were a time of great change in the United States, and coins from this era carry a unique connection to the post-war period. For many collectors, owning a piece of history like the 1953 wheat penny is about more than just the money, it's about preserving a moment in time. Now, you may be asking, how much is my 1953 wheat penny really worth? Well, the value of a 1953 D wheat penny can vary greatly depending on its condition and whether it has any mint errors. In average circulated condition, a 1953 D wheat penny is worth only a few cents. However, if your coin is in mint state or has an error, its value can rise dramatically. In fact, a well-preserved, uncirculated 1953 D wheat penny can be worth thousands of dollars, but the ultimate value comes with rarity, error, and condition, and here's the kicker: one 1953 D wheat penny, with impeccable condition and rare characteristics, was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $210,000. That's right, $210,000 for a single penny. It just goes to show that with the right combination of factors, perfect condition, rarity, and maybe even a mint error, this seemingly humble coin can be worth a small fortune. If you think you might have a 1953 D wheat penny worth a significant amount of money, it's time to take a closer look. Start by examining the coin's condition. Is it free from scratches, discoloration, or heavy wear? If it's in uncirculated condition, it's definitely worth getting professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will assess the coin's condition and provide you with a grade, which can dramatically increase its value in the eyes of potential buyers. So, before you dismiss that 1953 D wheat penny sitting in your collection or jar, take a moment to inspect it. It could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of value. Whether it's pristine, full of character, or has a mint error, you could be holding onto something that's worth far more than you ever expected. Especially, we're diving into a truly remarkable coin that represents the last year of an iconic series, the 1958 wheat penny. If you've ever found one of these pennies in your collection or pocket change, you might be holding on to more than just a 1-cent coin. Stick around as we uncover the fascinating details about this particular wheat penny and why it could be worth a small fortune. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, holds a special place in American coinage history. These pennies are famous not only for their design but also for their role in American culture, as they circulated in everyday transactions for decades. However, the 1958 wheat penny holds a special significance because it marked the end of this beloved series. After 1958, the U.S. Mint switched to a new design featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, and the wheat penny, with its iconic ears of wheat, was retired. Now, let's take a step back and explore the story behind the 1958 wheat penny. By the time the 1958 version of the coin was minted, the U.S. had already undergone significant changes. The country had fully recovered from the Great Depression, and the 1950s saw America enjoying an era of prosperity and growth. The 1958 wheat penny was struck as part of this post-war boom, but by this time, most people had already seen the writing on the wall. The wheat design was on its way out, making the 1958 penny one of the final coins to feature this iconic imagery. The design of the 1958 wheat penny is similar to that of its predecessors. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner that has been a symbol of American pride for more than a century. On the reverse side, you'll see the two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, a design that has come to symbolize America's agricultural roots. But here's the real kicker: while the 1958 wheat penny was produced in large numbers, more than 800 million of them, there's something about this coin that makes it particularly intriguing to collectors. The key to the 1958 wheat penny's value lies in its rarity and condition. Most of the 1958 pennies circulated heavily and were subject to wear and tear. However, a small fraction of these coins were either kept in pristine condition or survived with minimal wear. These coins are now highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for them. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. The value of any coin depends largely on how well it's been preserved over the years. A 1958 wheat penny that has been carefully stored or kept in mint condition could be worth far more than its face value. A coin with minimal wear, crisp details, and sharp lettering is much more valuable than a well-worn, heavily circulated penny, but it's not just the general condition of the 1958 wheat penny that makes it special. There are also some rare variations that can drastically increase its value. One of the most valuable and sought-after versions of the 1958 penny is the 1958 Double Die Obverse. This is a minting error that occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, resulting in a doubling effect on parts of the coin's design. The most noticeable feature of the 1958 Double Die Obverse is the doubled lettering, especially the Liberty and the date. These errors are highly prized by collectors, and finding one of these coins in good condition can make a huge difference in its value. Additionally, certain 1958 wheat pennies that were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, where no mint mark was added, are also worth more in higher grades. The sheer quantity of 1958 pennies that were made means that finding one in mint condition is increasingly rare, and it's this rarity that makes the coin so valuable. So, how much is a 1958 wheat penny really worth? Well, most of these pennies are worth just a few cents in circulated condition. But for collectors, a high-grade 1958 wheat penny, one that's in near mint or uncirculated condition, can fetch significantly more. If the coin is well preserved, especially one that has been professionally graded, it can easily sell for several $100s. However, when it comes to those rare error coins, like the 1958 Double Die Obverse, prices can soar into the thousands. But here's where it gets truly incredible. One particular 1958 wheat penny, in pristine condition with unique features, was recently sold for an astounding $290,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, one that was once worth just 1 cent, now carries a price tag that could rival some of the most valuable coins in history. This just goes to show that even coins from a time when they were considered common can turn out to be incredibly valuable, provided they have the right combination of factors: pristine condition, rarity, and sometimes a minting error. If you think you might have a 1958 wheat penny worth more than its face value, here's what you should do. First, closely examine the coin for signs of wear. Is it shiny and crisp, with clear lettering and details? If so, it could be worth a lot more than just a cent. If you think it's a rare version, like the Double Die Obverse, make sure to take it to a professional coin grader. Companies like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can assess the condition of your coin and provide a certified grade. This grade is essential for determining the true value of your coin in the collector's market. The 1958 wheat penny might be the last of its kind, but it certainly isn't the least valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey into the world of numismatics, this coin has the potential to be a real treasure. From its historical significance to its potential for rare variations, the 1958 wheat penny could hold a fortune waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or browsing through your coin collection, remember this: you might just be holding a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. It's not just about the face value, it's about the history, the condition, and sometimes, the sheer rarity of these amazing pieces of Americana. And who knows? You might be sitting on a hidden treasure worth a staggering $190,000. Next coin, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and historically significant coins from the United States, the 1957 wheat penny. If you've ever come across one of these in your collection or while going through your spare change, you might have stumbled upon a rare treasure. You won't want to miss this, as we explore the history, the design, and, most importantly, the potential value of the 1957 wheat penny. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed to discover just how much this humble penny could be worth. The Wheat Penny series, minted from 1909 to 1958, has captivated coin collectors for decades. One of the most iconic coins in American history, the wheat penny features a simple yet elegant design, an image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with 2 stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, on the reverse. This design has come to symbolize American values, from the country's agricultural roots to the legacy of its 16th president. And the 1957 wheat penny, the second-to-last coin in this series, holds a special place in numismatic history. In 1957, the United States was living through an era of economic prosperity. The post-World War II boom had left the country thriving, and coins like the wheat penny were circulating in massive numbers. In fact, more than 1 billion 1957 wheat pennies were minted, both in Philadelphia and Denver. But here's the kicker: while these coins were produced in large quantities, the number of well-preserved, high-quality examples is relatively low. And this scarcity is what makes the 1957 wheat penny so appealing to collectors. The design of the 1957 wheat penny remains consistent with earlier years in the series. On the obverse, we find a profile of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has appeared on the coin since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, which is where the coin gets its name, and the words, United States of America, and 1 cent. This design was meant to represent America's agricultural past, and it serves as a reminder of the country's agricultural economy during the early 20th century. Now, what makes the 1957 wheat penny so exciting for collectors? It's all about condition and rarity. As you may know, coin collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in exceptional condition, as they can fetch much higher prices on the market. The 1957 wheat penny was produced in vast numbers, so finding one in pristine condition is a real gem. Coins that have been well preserved, free from damage or heavy wear, are much more valuable than those that have seen extensive circulation. In fact, the highest valued 1957 wheat pennies are those that have been kept in mint state, showing no signs of wear. These coins, which often come with sharp details and no discoloration, can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Finding one of these perfect specimens is a rare occurrence, and when collectors do find one, they're willing to pay a premium for it. But what if you don't have a perfectly preserved 1957 wheat penny? Don't worry, because there's another way this coin can be valuable: errors. Minting errors are common in the world of coin collecting, and they can make a significant difference in a coin's value. A common error in wheat pennies is a double die, where the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly, resulting in a doubling of certain elements, like the date or the lettering. These coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and stand out from the regular coins. If you happen to have a 1957 wheat penny with such an error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The 1957 wheat penny with such minting errors is extremely valuable in the collector's market, especially if the error is noticeable and prominent. The most sought-after error for the 1957 coin is a double die or misaligned die strike. Coins with these errors often command top dollar at auctions, with some selling for tens of thousands of dollars or more. Minting mistakes like these create a one-of-a-kind coin, which only adds to its allure and value among collectors. So, what's the actual value of a 1957 wheat penny? Well, it depends on several factors. In circulated condition, a 1957 wheat penny is worth only a few cents, maybe $1 or $2 at most, depending on its state of preservation. However, when you find a coin in near mint or mint state, its value can climb dramatically. Some well-preserved 1957 wheat pennies can fetch upwards of $50, $100, or even more at auctions or through private sales. But here's where things get truly incredible. One specific 1957 wheat penny, in exceptional condition and with a rare error, was recently sold for an astounding $180,000. Yes, you read that right, $180,000 for a single penny. That's the power of rarity, quality, and the right collector finding the right coin at the right time. This just goes to show that a seemingly humble coin can hold extraordinary value if it's in the right condition or has a unique feature that makes it stand out. If you think you might have a 1957 wheat penny with the potential to be worth a lot of money, here's what you should do next. Take the time to inspect the coin carefully. Check for signs of wear. Do the details on the coin look sharp, or is there significant discoloration? Is the lettering clear and well defined? If your coin is in excellent condition, it's definitely worth getting it professionally graded. Professional coin grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, can assess your coin's condition and assign it a grade. This graded coin will be more desirable to potential buyers and can significantly increase its market value. In addition, if you suspect your 1957 wheat penny may have a minting error, it's essential to have it authenticated by a reputable professional. An error coin, especially one with a noticeable double die or other misstrikes, can add thousands of dollars to its value. whether you've been collecting coins for years or are just starting out, the 1957 wheat penny offers a unique opportunity to add a valuable piece of American history to your collection. It's a reminder of the country's past, the legacy of President Lincoln, and the fascinating world of numismatics. So, the next time you come across a 1957 wheat penny, don't just toss it aside, take a closer look, because you might be holding on to something worth far more than a single cent. Last unique coin, we're diving into the world of the 1954 wheat penny, a coin that might be hiding in your collection or sitting in your pocket change, waiting to make you a fortune. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, but trust me, the 1954 wheat penny is far from ordinary. Stick with me, and we'll explore why this particular coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most iconic and beloved collections of coins in U.S. history. These pennies, known for their simple yet powerful design, feature President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, on the reverse. The 1954 wheat penny is part of the series that stands as a testament to America's agricultural roots, its economic growth, and its rich history. The D mint mark on this coin tells us it was minted in Denver, making it a piece of American history with a unique connection to a specific time and place. When we talk about the 1954 wheat penny, we're looking at a coin that was produced during a time of economic stability and post-war prosperity. The United States was in the middle of the 1950s, a decade marked by growth and innovation. Yet, despite the large number of these pennies that were minted, over 1 billion 1954 wheat pennies were produced, they're becoming increasingly difficult to find in top condition. And that's where the true value of this coin comes into play. The 1954 wheat penny was originally designed to be a workhorse of American currency, used in everyday transactions. Over the years, millions of them were circulated, meaning that many were worn down by constant use, resulting in damage, scratches, and fading. However, when you come across one of these pennies that has been kept in pristine condition, it becomes a treasure. Coin collectors and enthusiasts alike are always on the lookout for well-preserved examples, and the 1954 wheat penny is no exception. The most valuable 1954 wheat pennies are those in near mint or uncirculated condition. These coins are especially rare, and because of their excellent state, they can fetch a pretty penny, no pun intended. If you happen to find a 1954 wheat penny that looks as though it was just minted yesterday, you might want to pay closer attention. The clearer and sharper the details on the coin, the higher its potential value. When a coin maintains its original mint luster, with no visible signs of wear, collectors are willing to pay significantly more for it, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars, but it's not just about the general condition of the coin. What makes the 1954 wheat penny particularly exciting to collectors is the possibility of finding one with a minting error. Coin errors, while not terribly common, can make certain coins highly valuable and desirable. For example, a 1954 wheat penny with a double die, where the image or inscription appears to be doubled because of a misalignment of the die, can be incredibly valuable. These types of errors are highly sought after because they are unique and stand out from the regular coins in circulation. Collectors and investors are constantly searching for these error coins, as they add an element of rarity and surprise. If you have a 1954 wheat penny with any noticeable error, it could be worth a lot more than its typical value. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. You might be wondering, so how much is a 1954 wheat penny worth? In most cases, a 1954 wheat penny in circulated condition is worth only a few cents or perhaps $1 or $2. It's a common coin, and most of these pennies won't break the bank. However, when you find one in exceptional condition, perhaps one that has never been in circulation or has been carefully preserved, it could be worth hundreds of dollars. Now, let's talk about the most impressive 1954 wheat penny discovery ever made. Believe it or not, a single 1954 wheat penny in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and excellent luster, was recently sold for an unbelievable $160,000. That's right, $160,000 for a single penny. This just goes to show how valuable a well-preserved coin can be, especially when it has the right combination of factors: excellent condition, rarity, and collector demand. So, how do you know if your 1954 wheat penny might be worth a small fortune? It all comes down to condition and rarity. Inspect your coin carefully. Is it worn down, or does it still show sharp details? Is the date and lettering clear and distinct? If it's still shiny and crisp, you might just have a valuable coin on your hands. If you suspect it's in great condition or may have an error, it's always a good idea to get it professionally graded by a reputable grading service, such as PCGS or NGC. These organizations will assess your coin's quality and give it a grade, which will help determine its market value. Another crucial factor to consider is the coin's rarity. While the 1954 wheat penny was produced in large numbers, finding one in pristine condition is rare. Many have suffered from wear and tarnish over the years, making the well-preserved examples a true collector's dream. If you have one of these rare gems, don't hesitate to seek out expert opinions or even have it auctioned off. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who's interested in the fascinating world of numismatics, the 1954 wheat penny is a coin that holds a great deal of potential. Not only does it represent a key piece of American history, but it also offers a real opportunity for those who know where to look. With its connection to the past, its beautiful design, and its potential for big rewards, the 1954 wheat penny is a coin that should be on every collector's radar. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of the 1954 wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you won't miss out on any future coin discoveries. And, of course, if you've ever found a coin that turned out to be worth more than you expected, share your story with us in the comments. We'd love to hear about your exciting finds. Keep collecting, and who knows, your next coin could be worth a small fortune.